to start with Happy New Year to every one of us here. It's another year again. We thank God for giving us the grace to be among those the living. Okay, so you're welcome once more to another webinar session for ManageEngine partners in Nigeria. Okay, so this is tagged Serve with Ease. So objective is this year is for us to, as we have been doing, to empower our partners, and we have this objective of making sure that all our registered partner can demo ManageEngine solution and also at the same time pitch it to their client. So that's the objective we have for ManageEngine solution and for all the partners that have been registered there. So we have, in order for us to achieve this, we have slated a timetable, training timetable that will assist us to meet all set targets. One, we instead of having a webinar in every quarter, we have decided to have a webinar every month. This is just for us to ensure that at least before the end of this year, we have about 90% of all our partners being able to pitch this solution, because our objective is at the end of the day, the partner will be the one pushing this solution, not we. So our dream is for us to empower our partners to the point where they can deploy the solution. So it's not, we have other opportunities, we have other solutions that we as a distributor pushing. We have others, other product that we sell to end user apart from ManageEngine. So we are looking at a point where we can be able to focus on this and also leave this ManageEngine to a registered partner. And this can only be achieved if our partner can implement the ManageEngine solution and also pitch it to the client without any necessary assistance from the distributor. So that's our objective. So you're welcome once more. Sell with Ease. That's the title of this webinar for our first quarter 2022. So I'll just start by letting you know that every of our solution that we introduce in our webinar is as a result of popular demand. We get more requests from on this solution from our client and from our partners. So that is why we felt it is needed for us to get acquainted with this solution and also let our partner know how important this solution is, and also help us to I pretty much have done much of this, the welcome speech. So once more, I welcome every one of us. So before we proceed, let me just give a background of what the webinar is supposed. Today's webinar is all about. We are focusing on network monitoring solution. So this has been a popular demand from our clients. So we've actually seen that is of a need for us to let our partners, the end user, get acquitted over for this solution on this solution. So we can take it backwards a little bit. Okay, so Tranta-IT ManageEngine partnership. So it's important for us to get a understanding of the relationship between ManageEngine and Tranta-IT. So Tranta-IT is an IT servicing company and a fast-growing technological innovation company with services ranging from IT support, IT infrastructure to IoT. So like I said, we have other products that we sell apart from ManageEngine. So we are the sole distributor of IoT solution in Nigeria. So Sigforce is the OEM, and we are the distributor in Nigeria. So apart from ManageEngine, we have other products that we sell. So we are looking at how we hand over this ManageEngine solution to our partner while we focus on other solutions. So the other for us to do this is for us to ensure that we get feedback from our partner that they can deploy the solution. So ManageEngine, as we all know, is an international software solution, a software company that has a suite of IT solutions, including IT infrastructure, IT service management, and IT security solutions. So those are the where the major area of focus for ManageEngine. And this relationship has spanned over 6 years. So we become partner with ManageEngine in 2013. So while the IT department, which is the channel department, was actually established in the last 4 years. So we've come a long way through relationship management and the rest of marketing and strategy. We've been able to make ManageEngine an household name. So, and Tanta IT, apart from selling of ManageEngine solution, we are widely known based on the brand. Where we are a reputable company that's established in 1990. Tanta IT Infrastructure Service was founded in 2004 and has grown to have a staff strength of over 300 wonderful people who are working, who are over 250 of which are IT engineers. So we have our IT engineer in every nook and corner of the country. So we also do support. So these are more of what we do. We have a highly trained engineer providing professional IT services and IT support in various banks, various companies, and various locations in the country. So we also have we are located in almost the 36 states across the country, and we have achieved about 99% SLA completion of all our outsourced IT support contracts. So we also specialists when it comes to IT support. So our client A, we have over 24 blue chip companies that we are servicing currently. So, and this is information from our customer base. About 75% of the commercial bank are using our solution, and also we are servicing them either by selling of either through IT support and other solution. So in order for us to move forward, so just to fasten off for what we achieved in 2022. So this is our achievement, our vision. Our vision is for us to get ManageEngine into a white elephant organization. And so that's our vision for this year. So last year we were able to enter into more elephant and organizations such as the Egypt, CBN, and the National Assembly. So we're looking at penetrating other white elephant organizations. So, and that's what we're looking at too. And also we have the vision to generate 1 billion naira in 2022. So that is achievable. So for me, I would say this is just something that we can achieve before the end of the Q2, because our revenue generation is just a stone through 1 billion naira as last year. So it's something that we can achieve. So we're looking at achieving more than 1 billion naira in 2022 from our partner revenue. And also we also want to see our partner grow. So the silver sub-level reseller. So we are going to we are looking at increasing our partnership level. Those are in bronze level. We are looking at the opportunity for us to see how we can move them to silver level, and this can be achieved by engaging in advanced training and also increasing the revenue generated by the reseller. So we are going to engage our partner this year in order to move them to the next level. So in order for you to move to the next level, you know what to do. It's just for you to increase your revenue generation and also enroll for the upcoming advanced training for resellers. So that's what we're looking at. So because at the end of the day, when you can implement this solution, you definitely going to have an increased rebate. So also we we have an objective of training at least all our partners to the point that each, at least they can demo 3 of our ManageEngine solution. So that's where we're looking at this year, that at least 90% of our partners should be able to demo this solution. So you don't need to start reaching out to Henry or reaching out to the distributor for just for you to demo or to pitch to your client. So this is our objective for this year, and also we're looking at penetrating other states in Nigeria. So Lagos is actually not congested to the point that we have to look out for other places, but because of the reseller network, we know that the only way we can reach out to other companies in the other region is for us to be able to spread our tentacle through our reseller network. So we are expanding our reseller network to the northern part of Nigeria, southern part, eastern part, and also some part of the western region. So that's what we're looking at this year. So by the time we're able to get more partners in Kaduna, Kano, Imo, Port Harcourt, then we should be able to get ManageEngine into those regions. So if you're also interested in this region, you can also reach out to me after this webinar. Okay, so in order for us to move to the call of today's webinar, I would want to let you know that the reason we have this webinar is not just because we just felt it's a traditional thing that we just have a webinar with our reseller, but we feel that this solution has been of high demand. We've got so many requests recently, and so many of the blue chip companies that you know are currently using this solution, and everybody wants to ensure that things are working very well in their environment. So if you want to know what uptime and downtime of your network availability, you want to monitor your network facility in your environment, this is a solution you should be looking at. And so we have an expert in-house. His name is Sikiru, Senior Technical Pre-Sales Engineer. He has deployed this solution in various organizations, even in blue chip company. So, and it's just an opportunity for us to have him here because he's also currently deploying in one of the blue chip companies in Nigeria currently. So I want to use this opportunity to introduce Sikiru to you. Sikiru, I hand over the mic to you. Do justice to this webinar. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Henry, for the introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. Like Henry has rightly mentioned, my name is Sikiru, and I'm a technical engineer in Tranta IT. I've also deployed ManageEngine solution for different blue chip organizations and enterprise banks. And ManageEngine OPMANAGER is one of the leading solutions that I've deployed. I'm trying to make my camera focus on my face. Okay. Yes. So why OPMANAGER in 2022? Why OPMANAGER in 2022? Well, ManageEngine OPMANAGER is a solution that meets the needs of any organization that is IT enabled. Any organization that has IT infrastructure will require ManageEngine OPMANAGER. And it does not necessarily have to be the large enterprise alone. It can be the medium enterprise, or small or medium scale, and it can be the large enterprise. So ManageEngine works for both big scale or small scale business. As long as it is IT enabled, then that organization require ManageEngine OPMANAGER, and that is why it is going to be easier to sell. Yes, it's going to be easy to sell for our partners, to be easy to demonstrate to our partners, easy to pitch to our partners. So, so what is ManageEngine OPMANAGER itself? Well, Okay, let's start with why ManageEngine. Well, ManageEngine is an OEM like Microsoft, and they provide easy solution for keeping your business safe and from IT management problems, ensuring high availability and making sure your users are happy. If your users are happy, your administrators will be happy. And if your administrators are happy, it means something is being done well, and there's no issue. That means you are going to generate more revenue. So across the world, we have over 180,000 organizations, including government and medical organizations using ManageEngine solutions. We have over 3 million administrators that are currently using ManageEngine solutions. Using different suites in the ManageEngine solution. And then we have 3 out of 5 Fortune 500 companies that trust ManageEngine and can vouch for ManageEngine in anywhere. So we are bringing IT together so that you don't have to worry or do some work or do too much work. Then the value of ManageEngine Op Manager. If we want to state the value of ManageEngine Op Manager, ManageEngine Op Manager Plus sets a new standard for unified IT monitoring as users get one application for all aspects of the monitoring function. And the single console provides high-depth visibility and control for faster troubleshooting, which enhances IT performance, improves productivity. What I'm basically saying is that ManageEngine is Op Manager is an all-in-one solution that is required for IT performance monitoring. In terms that it is used with ManageEngine Op Manager, you can ensure that your services, your business critical services is working fine. And then you can also be sure that if you need to increase any resource or add more resources to be alerted, or you are going to at any point in time, you will be aware that there is likelihood for this service to go down. So if it's something you can change or you can work on, then you can easily work on it. And then it doesn't work with just some parts of the network or some part of the IT. It's an all-round solution and brings all of them right to your front. So it brings all different sides of the monitoring to your front to just one single console, single dashboard console. So you don't have to be switching from one application to another or from one dashboard to another. So ManageEngine Op Manager has 6 modules on a single application, thereby providing a holistic view for easy accessibility of H tabs, which reduce the cost of maintenance of having to install different solutions or buy different solutions on different servers, as they have the same service pack, backup, and license. Like I mentioned earlier, ManageEngine is different parts of the IT, different network, servers, and so on. So these are different modules and different solutions that handle them. But because the way Op Manager is built to have all these different solutions in one. So you don't have to add the network parts or the ITOM parts or the server parts separately, or you don't have to install separate solution for them and start integrating them manually, which can be stressful, and it can also take some time. So ManageEngine Plus is packed with advanced network management capability of monitoring network, server, IP address, switch ports, managing bandwidth and network configuration, and analyzing firewall logs before archiving them, which gets rid of blind spots and missing downtime to increase service delivery. Yeah, so like I mentioned, the proactive monitoring for the servers, the network, the switch ports, and managing the bandwidth and network configuration. The main core reason for all this is so you can minimize your downtime. We know it is almost impossible to not have downtime, but you can minimize it and reduce it drastically with ManageEngine OpManager. And then when you even have a downtime, because it's going to tell you what the issue is, it can easily recover from your downtime. So you have a lower mean time to restore, and you have more time between failures. So that way you can have increased service delivery and higher performance. So ManageEngine OpManager offers over 90% of more functionality, over 90% of more functionalities of competitive products at maybe 10% cost, by giving an advantage of having the solution of more features and affordable price point. Yes. So ManageEngine OpManager, if you check the other solutions that are on the level of ManageEngine OpManager and you compare the cost, you realize that the price to the feature that ManageEngine OpManager is giving is the features are high while the price is considerably very low, and which means it is going to be easier to push ManageEngine because we are still in pandemic era, and that has already caused some recession, which is affecting lots of organizations. So lots of organizations are not willing to invest heavily in monitoring solution. So we have a lot of organizations that have left their current solution only because it costs so much that they cannot afford to continue, or they are just looking for something that costs a little bit less and we still give them that value that they require. And this is where ManageEngine OpManager comes in, because it's giving them the value they want and they are getting it at a lot cheaper rate. So that is why it is going to be very easy to sell ManageEngine OpManager compared to other solutions in that area or in that level. Other other monitoring solution, network performance monitoring solution in that level, it is easier to sell OpManager because first, it has all the features. And we have some organizations that have tested, some high-end organizations that have tested it and are currently using it, that can actually vouch for it. And then it is now cost-effective, which means that you are getting your value, and you're also getting and it's not costing you so much. And then it also has a support. So we have a local support. So that's one of our selling points. We have the local support. We have the OEM support. That is another thing that other solutions don't have, because first, some of the solutions are not even easy to configure. Talk less of easy to support. But here we are local partners. We are distributors, so we have direct access to the OEM. If there's any issue, you can easily reach the OEM. We can call them, we can chat them up, we can send a mail, we can invite them in. So the support is 100%, and the application itself is easy to install, easy to manage. So you don't really need much technicality. So that is another selling point for this ManageEngine Ops Manager. So up next, I'll be talking about the features of ManageEngine OpManager. Like I mentioned earlier, it is a 6-in-1 solution. So which means it has it does not just have OpManager. It's not just a network performance monitoring solution. That's like the basic feature of any monitoring solution is network performance monitoring solution. But it comes in with other solutions in it that are not primarily network performance. They are focused on other aspects of the network, which also aids in network performance. So that is why it's being added into it. So we can just have it as a whole instead of having it separately. So OpManager is a network server and virtualization monitoring software so that SME, large enterprise, and service provider manage their data centers and IT infrastructure efficiently and cost effectively. Like I mentioned, it's not just for large enterprise, for enterprise. It can also work for small and medium scale enterprise because it is cost effective and the licensing is easy to understand and is scalable. So you don't have to buy the whole pack. You can start small and then easily expand. And you get the same feature. It does not matter if you are starting small or you are going all out at once. You get the same feature for what you get. You get the same value for your money. So this is the network performance monitoring aspect of ManageEngine OPMANAGER. So it's an out of the box tool that offers network monitoring, physical and virtual server monitoring, flow-based bandwidth analysis, firewall log analysis, configuration and change management, IP address and switch port management, thereby providing you all the visibility and control that you need over the network. So majorly, how does it work? You can optimize bandwidth allocation with ManageEngine OPMANAGER. You can ensure there is high network availability. Sorry, give me a minute. Okay. Okay. Sorry about that. Please, if you have any question, you can drop it in the chat box or in the Q&A box. So either the question and answer box or the chat box, you can drop your questions there. Thank you. So as I'm saying, OPMANAGER bandwidth can optimize bandwidth allocation. You can use it to ensure high network availability, can virtualize and resolve WAN link problems. We can know the current trend and feature capacity planning. With OPMANAGER, we can have feature capacity planning. And then there is you can also spot problematic routers and initiate upgrades, updates, and replacement on your network. So we have different edition for ManageEngine OPMANAGER. We have the Essential, which the minimum devices is 2010,000 interfaces. Then we have the Enterprise, which has maximum of 5,000 and 10,000 interfaces. Then we have the large enterprise, which have the 50,000 and 10,000 interfaces. And then there is also one of them, OPMANAGER Plus. It's also part of the edition. It's currently not yet, but in the licensing, the way the OPMANAGER Plus is licensed is bundled other modules in it. So by default, it bundles other modules in it. While this one don't bundle, the licensing of this one does not bundle it in it. You have to specify that it should be included. While the one for OPMANAGER Plus, it is bundled in it. So that's why I had to chip that in, so you know the difference. So yes, this is the 6-in-1 engine OPMANAGER that I mentioned earlier. I can see some chats. Please, I will attend to them after the presentation. Yes, so this, please, you can continue to drop more questions and more chats. I will attend to all of them. So this is the 6-in-1, like I mentioned earlier. About OPMANAGER, we have the first one, which is the basic network performance monitoring solution, which is the network and server monitoring solution. That is the basic network performance feature of any network performance monitoring solution. The network and server monitoring performance that uses the WMI and SNMP that checks for availability and resource utilization, bandwidth availability also and utilization. That is the basic network performance monitoring solution. But then OPMANAGER included bandwidth analysis because OPMANAGER realized that, ManageEngine realized that, okay, a lot of organizations, when they realize that their bandwidth is being overutilized, they want to know what is utilizing it. They want to know what's going through it. If you see that it's maxing out, when most of this enterprise or organization with multiple branches and using MPLS, you're using one connection. Majority of them, one connection is expensive. It's not cost. It's not cheap. It's quite costly. I don't know how much they go for it, but I know they can either get 2 Mbps for just one connection or 4 Mbps for just one connection, connecting one branch to another. And that is that 4 Mbps can cost a arm and a leg. I don't know how much it costs. And so I know that a lot of this organization wants to know whenever the first thing they want to know is, are we even using up to this 4 Mbps that we're paying for? I mean, why should we be paying 2 million naira, is it monthly or quarterly, or 10 million naira quarterly for connection between just one branch to another branch? It's not the old general connection. It's not even on a different link. They can have the primary link and then the backup link, and then they'll be paying the same amount for both of them. Are we even using up to this? And then if they now generate with the basic OPMANAGER feature, they can easily generate a report to show, okay, yes, we're actually using this. In fact, we are overusing it and we need to increase it, because whenever the bandwidth is being overutilized, it's like a tunnel. When it's full, it's going to traffic, and the traffic will be slow. It will be like bottleneck. It's going to be slow. So they may be thinking, should we increase the bandwidth since it is always been overutilized? And before any organization will decide to even increase the bandwidth, they'll start raising questions like, how do we justify it? For us to justify it, we need to know what's going through the bandwidth. And that is what ManageEngine have realized, that if you want to justify this increment of your bandwidth, a lot of organization wants to know what is going through it. And that is why they introduced the bandwidth analysis. Instead of getting another solution that will tell you, okay, this is what is going through your bandwidth. Is it legit traffic, or is it an update, or is it that some people are connecting to and doing what they're supposed to do on the network and they are consuming the bandwidth while other people are having difficulty in working? So with bandwidth analysis, you know what exactly is going on your network. You know who is communicating where. You know if it is an update that is supposed to be scheduled for later in the day or evening that is now running during peak business period, like maybe 11 a.m. or 1 p.m. Maybe that is what is consuming bandwidth and slowing down your network and affecting your business and affecting your services. So with the bandwidth analysis, you know what is actually going on in your network. And you also know if it's maybe a malicious attempt or malicious activity, maybe a server or an infected system. It's trying to send broadcast to all the system on the network and on all the other network. So maybe that is what is consuming the bandwidth. So you can easily isolate it. So with the bandwidth analysis, it can also work for security purpose as well. So that is why ManageEngine thought it's better to have it in one than to have it in a separate solution. And then you now have to say, okay, we are using this solution to monitor the availability, but this is the solution that is giving us that is showing us what is really passing through the bandwidth. That is why ManageEngine added that feature to ManageEngine OPMANAGER. Then the next one is the configuration management. So because we are already monitoring the network devices, we are monitoring the routers, we are monitoring the switches, we are monitoring the firewalls. Why should anything change in the routers or switches and we won't know what's going on? We won't know who's making what change on it. We can't even go back we can't back up the configuration on it. This is a requirement because it's anybody that is managing any network device, the administrator wants easier management. The compliance wants to know who is making what change on the devices. They also want to know, the auditors want to know who is making what change, either internal auditors or external auditors. They want to know who is making what change on your network devices. They want to know if you are backing up your network devices or not, your configuration on your network devices or not. They want to know if your configuration, the one you have on your network devices, even if it meets standard compliance, because there are standard compliance, there are international standard compliance, and even there is a Nigerian NDPR standard compliance. So when auditors come from different organization, if it's government auditor, they are going to check with their standard compliance. If you are lacking in any way, they are going to flag you. So when you realize that you don't need to get a separate solution for that, they already have a solution that is managing your network devices. Why not incorporate that particular solution into it, and so that way you have it as part of it as well. Sorry, give me a minute. Yeah, so thank you. So as I was saying, that is where the managing configuration management comes in. It is also a standalone solution, but ManageEngine realized that instead of getting a separate standalone solution, you can add it to the network and server monitoring solution and have it as one. So that's where OPMANAGER Plus comes in. And we have another solution called firewall log analysis. Firewall log analysis is used to monitor your firewall logs as well. And it's also a standard solution that also has its own compliance as well. Compliance report as well, and you can also do backup of firewall configuration as well. And these are other features like IP address and switchport management, storage management as well. So these other solutions are standalone solutions, but since they are network related, why not put all of them as one and just make it one solution? Just one solution, one licensing, one, and it covers all this. Because by covering all this, you have already covered all your network environment, all your infrastructure. You are covering almost all your infrastructure. The only thing that is not here is the application environment, and which can be plugged in into ManageEngine OPMANAGER as well. So with the application manager, then you know that everything you have, your infrastructure, your applications, everything is from a single console. You can monitor all of them. You're on top of your game with all of them. Okay. So these are some of the features of ManageEngine OPMANAGER. These are some of the features. We have the network performance monitoring, outer monitoring, virtual machines, and so on. So let's start with server monitoring. So what does OPMANAGER monitor in servers? Majorly in everything that OPMANAGER monitors, it monitors availability. What does it use to monitor availability? It uses ICMP. So it uses ping. It pings all the devices to know if they're available or not. Either it is a server, either it's a network device. It pings it to know if it is available or not. And you can always generate availability and response time reports. Availability report is one report that is a very important report for a lot of organizations, especially for network devices, servers, and links, branch link, one link, this link. They want to know the availability. They want to know when it was up, when it was down. They want to generate availability to know their performance. But apart from availability, it also monitors, it uses WMI protocol to monitor resource utilization on the server, both Windows servers, Linux servers as well. So it monitors the CPU, memory, disk utilization of the servers, and you can set a threshold that anytime the server has reached a certain level, let me say, for example, if the CPU of the server is once it gets to 80%, you can set a threshold to change the severity of the device, either if it's clear before to trouble, that there is trouble, and then once it gets to 90, you should change it to critical. The purpose for this is so you know that the services running on that server are running fine, because once the CPU is over 90%, you know the services on that server they are going to be running slowly. Same thing with the memory utilization. If you don't set a threshold to know utilization, you may not be aware that your service is running slow. But once you set the threshold, you'll be aware, because once the memory utilization is hitting 90% all the time, 95%, you know that yes, the service on this system will be running slow. So you can proactively decide if you need to increase the memory or check what is consuming that much memory on that server. And another one is the disk utilization, which is the most important, because once unlike the memory and CPU that even in the peak period when they are high, they are going to reduce back to normal. The disk, once it's increasing, it keeps increasing. And if you don't set a threshold for it, you won't know when your disk is going to hit up to 100%. And it won't affect service until it stops the service. Unlike the CPU utilization that will affect the service, but it will not necessarily stop the service. Memory utilization that may affect service, that will definitely affect service when it is close to 100%, but it won't stop the service. The disk utilization will stop the service once it gets to a certain level. And if it's a C drive, it can crash that server. It can crash that server if it's a C drive. So once, that's what I meant by it won't affect it until it stops the service. It will stop the service completely and it may be irreversible. And that is the value of using this threshold. Once you set a threshold, you can set an email alert to know that I have a particular server somewhere. For example, if you're an administrator and you're managing over 500 servers, you can't be logging into these servers to be checking their utilization every day or every 2 hours to know if the disk of this server is if you need to increase it or not. You need something automated to help you check it. So this solution will check it and send you a mail that your disk is over 80%, a certain disk somewhere is over 90%, to tell you the disk and tell you where this, on which server it is. So you need to proactively either go to that disk and clear the space up or increase the utilization. Same thing, I mean, increase the resource. Same thing with the memory and CPU. But apart from that, it also monitors Windows services. It monitors processes running on servers. It monitors other services on the server. It monitors event ID. It can monitor your files and folder as well for modification and on count, size, and modification. And then it supports virtualization environments like Hyper-V, VMware environment, Nutanix, Zen servers, and so on. So you can monitor the host, monitor the VM, monitor the data store, monitor all of this information. And you can also set threshold for all these things as well. So you know that you are proactively monitoring your infrastructure. And if there's going to be any issue, you are fully aware of it. Then we have the network management monitoring solution. For the network management solution, yes, for the network management solution, we can monitor our network availability, network device availability. We can monitor our bandwidth utilization. We can monitor our WAN link availability and our interfaces availability, tunnel availability as well. So we know whenever a link is down. You can know whenever a switch port is down. You can know whenever a router is down. You can also know whenever the router is up or not. You can generate reports of the router. You can know when the bandwidth is being utilized. For example, bandwidth is using like 80% or 90% of the allocated bandwidth. So if it's something like that, you can monitor it, you can generate reports for it from the network performance monitoring aspect of as well. And it also monitors the CPU of the network devices, monitors availability and response time. It monitors the and supports over 1,000 devices, 1,000 device templates. So it supports a lot of devices. There are so many devices out there in the market, and it supports a lot of them. And for devices that are not part of the OPMANAGER build, you can easily get what's it called, an MIB file from the device vendor and import it into OPMANAGER, and with that you can pull the metrics, whatever metrics you need from it. For example, for some of our clients, there's one of our clients that they use Huawei switches. Huawei network devices are not, so is it Huawei? Yes, so they are not very popular in this market, but yes, they also have their own switches, routers, and firewall. So what we did is we use MIB file from the vendor. We got MIB file from the vendor. We imported it into OPMANAGER, and we're monitoring it like it's a normal, like the same way we monitor the Cisco devices and other devices as well. Then we also monitor interfaces availability. We monitor the option for the advanced net flow and JFlow, but that is under the net flow module. But we can monitor availability up, down, bandwidth utilization also. Then now this is the bandwidth monitoring module, where we can monitor the traffic. So we can get a summary of your network traffic and identify the top conversation, application, protocol, and QoS by bandwidth. So we know what are the people communicating and what are they communicating with, what protocol and what port. So we can find out detailed reports on application in and out traffic. We can know the source and destination by in and out traffic as well. We can monitor bandwidth by app-wise and also shape traffic. And we can carry out network forensic and security analysis with the bandwidth monitoring, which is the net flow. So this is the net flow analyzer module, which is net flow analysis. So from the image, we can see the different colors that are showing the different applications that are currently in use. And then we can also see the top end application as well. So similar to the NetFlow is the firewall analyzer, firewall log monitoring solution, which is the firewall analyzer. It can collect, it centrally collect and analyze and archive firewall logs for security and compliance. We can automate compliance audits with reports for PCI DSS, ISO 2007, SANS, and more. You know, like I mentioned earlier, it has NIST, it has SOC, it has other compliance audit reports. So with the firewall analyzer, you know that your firewall configuration are built in the international standard for both internal and external auditors, and also for your own security purpose as well. You can also manage shadow IT. You can track all changes and all changes done on firewall configuration, get notified by either email or SMS. You can manage firewall policy to enhance performance and security. You can search raw log files and find out security activity in minutes. Then we have the configuration management module, which is another module in the OPMANAGER. It can manage configuration history, compare different versions, and upload changes from the web client itself. You can, with that, you can back up configurations, and when it backs up in different versions. So you can compare the current version with the previous version. You can compare a version on one device to another version on another device. So you see the changes. In case a device is acting somehow, you can check their configurations, where the configuration on that device with configuration on another device right there side by side, to know, maybe to pinpoint where the issue may come from, which particular configuration may be affecting the device performance. And then you can also push configuration to multiple devices at the same time with the network configuration management. So you can get SMS for unauthorized changes. Also, when there's an unauthorized change or somebody make a change on the network devices, you are going to get you can get an alert for that, and also you are going to see what change the person made, and you'll be able to compare it with what was there before. Revert faulty configuration, you can easily revert. Define policy and check for configuration compliance. Yes, it also has compliance like SOX and Cisco compliance as well, that you can check your configurations with. Act as a central repository for all device configuration all the configurations are encrypted and stored in database. Yes, so all your configurations can be stored, will be stored in the application database. Then we have the IP address management module, where you can scan IPv4 and IPv6 to identify available and used IP addresses, view the history of an IP address to know which device we are associated with it, receive alert when an IP address state is changed, schedule scanning via SNMP, ping, DNS, and etc. at regular intervals. So with scanning, you can easily know whenever a new IP address or a new device, an IP address has been used or is still currently available, or a new device is in your environment. Also, similar with switch port management, which is also part of the IP address management module. Periodically discover devices connected to each port of a switch. You can easily do that because it can monitor all the switch ports, so you know when a port is being used or not. Identify the port to which a device is connected from the GUI. So you can see the device that are being connected. You see the MAC address of the devices that are connected to the switch. Give visibility into IP, MAC, VLAN status, availability of a port. Receive notification for changes in port status. You can also configure it to send you an alert when a port has been used. Know all MAC address connected to a port. Yes, it will show you the MAC address of the devices connected to a particular port. Generate report on usage, port speed, and port type. So you can easily generate the report to know for other use. Then it also comes with support for storage devices like storage grid management. It offers deep insight on the capacity of performance. There's also tape library management. You can monitor tape library. Storage capacity forecasting. Based on current usage, you can forecast the utilization of storage devices. And fabric switch management, so it can also automatically discover fabric switches in your SAN environment and generate alarm when there's a change in state of the switches. So fault management, how is fault managed? The OPMANAGER can create alarms and events to indicate that there is a fault has been found. So it has a tab where all the alarms are managed, and then also on the screen it has a pop-up that will show you the alarm. So on the screen there's always a pop-up whenever there's a new alarm. There's always a pop-up. You can view all alarms by event severity. So we have the critical severity, we have the trouble, we have attention, and then whenever a service is down, so going to view that. You can also trigger a workflow automation to automatically remediate faults. So whenever there is a fault, you can configure it to automatically react or do. There's a workflow that you can configure that will automatically work on that. You can acknowledge or unacknowledge alarm as well. That can also be done. You can add notes to alarm for more information. So other administrators, once they see the alarm, they will see the notes and they will understand why it is like that. Escalate alarm is not resolved in time. That option is also available. You can also escalate alarm whenever it is not available. So we have different actions that can be done. We have the email action. Whenever an alarm is generated, we have the email action that will send an email to someone or a group of persons. And then we have the SMS. So with the SMS, it requires SMS gateway. With the SMS gateway, you can generate SMS when there is an alarm. For example, a server is down or a service is down or a link is down. Instead of sending an email, it can also send an SMS. So we have other actions or other notification profile that can be done, like logging a ticket on a ticketing tool. If you have a ticketing tool, the application can log a ticket, and then the application can also close the ticket. For example, if your ticketing tool is ManageEngine Service Desk Plus, it's not only going to log that ticket on ManageEngine Service Desk Plus. Whenever the alarm is cleared, it's going to also close the ticket by itself. It will automatically create the ticket by itself. To create escalation rule to escalate alarm, you can also create escalation to escalate alarms that are not cleared or acknowledged in a specific interval. So you can configure it to take another action. And then this is a threshold where you can set threshold for the utilization. So whenever it is in a particular level, you can say it should be attention, another level, trouble, another level, critical. And then whenever it's back down, you can then change, you can put the level here. So for here, you can see 70, 80, 90 for critical, then back to 70. Whenever it's less or equal to 70, it should go back to clear. This is here where the workflow is done, where you can set the workflow for an alarm. Then we have support, or it also supports scraps and syslogs. Whenever you can configure it to receive scrap and configure as alarm. Also, so whenever a scrap is received, it will show as an alarm here. And it comes with different tools like SNMP tools, TraceRoute, proxy ping, WMI query, SNMP query, MIB query, and so on. There are also group discussion, discuss IT issue on Facebook like collaboration wall, share articles, troubleshooting tips, post comments, and so on in it as well. So it comes with a dashboard, an intuitive dashboard, and you can also create a knock view. With the knock view, you can put the knock view on the screen. It will automatically refresh every 30 seconds, so it doesn't go off. And show you what your business critical dashboard widget, you can put it on your knock view. So when you put your critical widget on your knock view, you know immediately there's an issue, you can really see it on the dashboard. So you don't even have to log into the application for you to see the knock view. So you can view the performance of your entire network at a glance. You can find all operational status of your network within 230 plus out of the box widgets. You can create multiple dashboards and embed on your knock screen. You can pull out top 10 data across your network, across sites by CPU, memory availability, and so on. And you can also navigate from widgets to snapshot page for details analysis. So for any of these things you see on your devices or on your dashboard, once you click on it, it will take you to the device snapshot directly for detailed information. Then we have different maps. We have we have the business view map. We have the global map, 3D map, we have floor map as well. So you can create logical view of your network and view its performance collectively. You can drill down to snapshot of pages, to devices and interfaces. You can identify the performance of the devices and link using color codes. Yes, so it has different colors that will show you the different colors have different meaning, but anywhere there is amber or red, you know that there is an issue. So these are the different maps that are currently available. And then we have also out of the box reports. It has inbuilt reports, and you can also create your own custom report as well to suit your business needs. So we have over 180 performance reports. You can schedule reports, so it'll be automatically sending if it's daily, weekly, or monthly. You can create custom reports. You can export reports either in Excel or PDF, and then you can print reports directly from the GUI. Other highlights, with the enterprise edition, you can use the distributed architecture where there will be a central server. For example, if you have a lot of devices that you want to monitor, and one server cannot monitor all of them, you can have a central server and have probe servers that will be monitoring all other devices, and all they'll be doing is sending the information to the central server. So the central server will just be like a collector, but it won't be doing most major work. The ones that are doing the work are the probe servers. Then it's highly scalable. You can monitor up to 100,000 devices or 100,000 interfaces or 10,000 devices. Yeah, so it's very scalable. You can start small and then increase. There's also a failover option. So for failover, you can have one device. You can have two servers, are doing the same work. One will be primary, the other will be secondary. So when the secondary is not available, the primary, when the primary is not available, the secondary kicks in. And then when the secondary comes back up, yeah, the secondary go back to being secondary, and the primary comes stay on top. So that is for failover. So you know that there is redundancy, the application is always live, your monitoring is always available at any point. You can also integrate with your you can integrate with the mobile application, support both web and Android. Sorry, support both Android and iOS. The application itself is a web-based application, but it has mobile application. If you go to Google Play or App Store, you can search for Manager Plus. And once you install it, you can integrate it with your network. So other benefits of integrating App Manager. So like I mentioned, App Manager detects network outage, NetFlow analyze what caused the outage. NCM, you can take necessary action to fix the outage. Because you can run scripts directly on the NCM or push configuration to devices on the NCM, you can take action with the NCM. Other integration is with the application manager, like I mentioned earlier, which is an application performance monitoring solution. And then another one is Service Desk Plus, like I also mentioned earlier, that if you integrate with the Service Desk Plus, Op Manager will automatically raise a ticket. And when the issue is closed, it's going to close the ticket by itself. So it will raise the ticket. Once it raises the ticket, it's going to assign the technician and then close the ticket. Well, what it's doing is managing the entire life cycle of the ticket. Any ticket that comes in from Op Manager is going to manage the life cycle by itself. These are some of our solutions. These are some of our companies that are currently using ManageEngine solutions. These are the different sectors. We have banking, IT, healthcare, energy, military, government, education, and so on. So what happens next? Okay, before what happens next, I'm going to attend to your questions before I hand over to Henry. Under the Q&O.
Can we just leave that to the last part of the session, because I would want to assume that some other people want to start putting down their question. So we will just take that at the end of it. I don't think you get that clearly.
Okay, I get that.
Okay, so what happened next? So thank you, Chikio, for this detailed explanation on Op Manager and Op Manager Plus. But I still have my question that is reserved for me. But I believe that every other people want to ask that same question. At what point do I need to get Op Manager? And at what point do I need to get Op Manager Plus? So that will be reserved after I finish this session. So because I do have this question. I do have requests from the partner and requesting for Op Manager. Sometimes it's supposed to be Op Manager Plus. So by the time I look at it, I see that this is actually Op Manager Plus, not Op Manager. So I think we're going to go through that after this session. So it's important to know the difference between Op Manager and Op Manager Plus, and what Op Manager does and what Op Manager Plus does. So what happened next? So what happened next is can you help me, Chikio? Is the engagement process. So we have where we engage our partners. So, but notwithstanding, I will let you know that what in the end of this session. So who am I? Please can you go back? Okay, so who should I target? So for Op Manager, if you want to sell this solution, there are stakeholders that you look out for and where to sell this solution. Like I said, managing the solution is not just it's not a solution that is just streamlined to a particular sector. Is actually can be sold in all sectors of the organization or every organization. So, for example, the financial institution, if you can see in the last slide that was shared by CQ, we have over 85% of the financial institution using Op Manager Plus, also using other managing solutions. The medical institution, academic institution, and the government institution are currently are also people that you look out for. Like I said, we have so many government parastatals using this solution. We have the likes of National Assembly. We have the likes of CBN. We have the likes of NDIC using this solution. So some of them are also coming on board too. So who are the people who are the people to talk to? So do you have access to this chief information officer? So those are the people that you look at. Those are the decision makers. Those are the people that want to ensure that everything that has to do with the network in their environment is perfect. So look out for these guys. Look out for those the system IT admin, IT compliance management, because also our op manager has some compliance metrics. So they want to also be a top notch when it comes to compliance in-house. So also IT auditors and head of network, service delivery manager, infrastructural manager. So those are the people that you look out for, and those are the people that you can push this solution to. So like I said, we are open to any kind of engagement. We want you to engage us. Just reach out to me. We have proposal already made for network monitoring solution. We'll share with you as request comes in, and also you don't have to get to the point where you know the CIO before you sell the solution. You also can start from the IT and also system IT admin. Then we can pitch to the point where the CIO want to get to see the demo presentation. So why ManageEngine? So like I said, is user friendly. I think Siku made mention of that, why he was giving it on the presentation. It's user friendly. Implementation is not out of the box. It's something that you can actually learn and do. So it's easier for you to configure the solution, and also is a suite of solutions that can integrate with each other. So like we said, you have Op Manager, you can integrate it with Service Desk Plus, and the Service Desk Plus act as a ticketing solution. Should there is downtime in the network, so the Op Manager will trigger an alarm. That alarm becomes a ticket that will be assigned to a technician. Then the technician resolve it, and also the Op Manager Plus closes the ticket. So this is just like a more like a chain of chain reaction that is going in. So what this implies is that you don't need to start looking out for other solutions out elsewhere to integrate with ManageEngine. So we just get a single Op Manager Plus. You can integrate it in-house with Service Desk Plus and also Application Manager. So you want to monitor your applications, you just sync it with Application Manager. So at the end of the day, it becomes so cost effective. You know, you're getting the same solution, the same product from the same organization, and it is doing the same thing. So you can as well get all the ManageEngine solution in-house without looking out for other solutions. So that easy integration is what you look out for, and also the cost effectiveness. That's what you look out for. Also, if you in all the ManageEngine solution that we've tweeted, all the solution actually can be customized to suit in your environment. You know, you want to look at if it is actually you know, every organization have a custom way of doing things. So, and you have a new solution and you want it to be customized in the way your organization wants it to be. So ManageEngine solution is very flexible. It gives you opportunity for you to do that. You can customize it based on how you want it. You can put logo as it is. So what happened next? So like I said, we have process of engagement. It's more like a success story. It has actually helped us, and we the Toronto IT has used these metrics to reach out to our clients and close deals. So we follow this sales process as you follow this sales process, and also it has yielded so many results to us, and we felt the need to share it with our partners. So this is more like a chain of engagement. So you can as well skip one of these engagement process while you are pitching to your client, but this is the way it goes in Toronto IT, and this is a way we've been engaging our client, and it's been working for us. So our first stage is for us to send in the proposal. So apart from sending in the proposal, first of all, you must have gotten to know that there is a pain in-house right? The client, maybe you are close to the CIO, you are close to the system admin, would have told you that all of a sudden, you will not even have to know anything. The network will just go down. You understand? You know that that is a pain. So you have to identify a pain first. That so naturally, yes. So on normal in the sales process, you identify the client's pain, look at what they're going through and what you feel that then you now look at what you have to push to them. You understand? So by the time, let's assume that you identify the pain of the client. You actually know that they have issue with getting to on their network availability. Then definitely you will have to know that okay, you need Op Manager Plus in that environment. So what you need to do first is for you to share a proposal on network monitoring solution. Once that is done, I believe the client will go through it, and then the client will want to ask some few questions. And at the time they are asking that question, you will now say, oh, I don't know if it's cool with you for us to have a demo. I believe with that demo, it will solve some of the questions that you've just asked. Probably you've answered those questions, but it's not that clear based on the fact that it's just a word of mouth. So with a demo, we have a web demo on all the solution. You link us, you just reach out to us, we'll have a demo with a client, and you see just like the demo is more like the environment itself, but it's just a web demo, and it's not a live demo per se, it's a web demo. Then the client will now see that, okay, this is what we're talking about when it talks about Op Manager monitoring, the network availability, and the rest of it. So after the demo, you as a partner, you must have registered your deal, because as much as we can, we try as much to reduce the conflict in this channel space. Definitely, we know we cannot do without conflict. So we try as much to ensure that we reduce this conflict. So that's why most times, if you request for a quote, if you request for pricing on an engagement, I will ask you to register the deal. So that's the only way I can prove that someone is on that opportunity. So each time you have an engagement with a client, or each time you are proposing a solution of ManageEngine to the client, just reach out to our website or reach out to me to send the link to you. Register this deal, let it be secured. I wouldn't want the case where you must have spent all your time, your money, at the end of the day, you didn't close the deal. So it's important to register your deal. So once that is done, the client will look at, okay, fine, I like this solution, I want to get it, but let me see the price, let me see the costing and see if it's something I can afford. That is when the commercial comes in. So like I said, you don't need to worry yourself about how you engage the client in terms of getting the commercials. We have already made questionnaires that once we share with the client, it asks you all the vital questions that surround the solution. Then we'll share that, they fill it and send to us. We'll be able to get a quote and send back to you. So it's important you reach out to us to get this questionnaire. It's important so that at the end of the day, you know that the client is the one that actually fill the questionnaire and fill based on what they want to achieve. Sometimes you get to the point where you sold to the client, and the client now say, "Oh, I want 100 devices, not 50 devices," and probably you just assume that okay, there are not much network devices in the client environment, so let me just get for 50 devices. But that's not the case, how it ought to go. You have to supposed to share the questionnaire with the client. So after when the client sees that okay, the price you've shared probably is 5 million, 3 million is fine for them, the client will want to say, okay, I have to propose this to the management, but how would I propose what I don't really know how it works? I've not even seen how it works. You understand? So you now have to propose a POC. POC is just proof of concept. You have you have the opportunity to run a POC for 30 days. ManageEngine is there for you. We run a POC with the client for 30 days. The only case where you can skip this is when we have some cases where we have somebody move from say from GTB to FCMP, and he wants to get Op Manager Plus that have been deployed in the other place. So you thought, okay, I know this solution. There's no need for a POC. So that's why I said this is not per se a yardstick, or let me say, I'm not saying this chart is rigid. You can actually skip some process because based on prior engagement with the client. So a client might not want a POC based on the fact that, oh, I've used Op Manager Plus in where I'm coming from. I say, I know the effectiveness of this solution. So there's no need in getting a POC. So once the client is done with the POC, and as well, when the client is on the POC, it's important you as a reseller to reach out to the client, try to see if their pain are actually met while they're using the POC, because that would determine if they are going to get the solution. So it's important to reach out to the client while they are using the solution during the POC windows, and check to see if there's any challenges, and reach out to us and see if it's something we can resolve before the end of the POC. Then while they finish the POC, then the client must have been working with the management to see how they can approve the payment or issue a PO within the next 30 days. And once that is done, you move to the next level of getting the PO or getting payment. And once payment is done, we in Tranta IT, we are open to deployment. So we actually are not making it a mandatory request for us to deploy to your client. No, we even want to the point whereby our partner will be the one deploying to their client. So should you cannot deploy our solution, you can reach out to us. We are open to deploy the solution. So once that is done and you feel that the client is happy, they are using the solution in-house. So the next line of engagement is called health check. We'll do health check here. That's what we mean by health check is that while the client is using it, you go into the client environment and ask, how is this solution? How is it like? Is it able to meet up your requirement? Is it fine? Is this is okay? So by the time you see that the client is happy and the rest, then you now introduce what we call cross-sell. Cross-sell in the sense that, oh, can you see that OPMANAGER Plus is one of the solutions you need in the environment, and it's important to integrate it with Service Desk Plus. So with Service Desk Plus now, once the network is done, it generates a ticket that will be sent to the technicians. The technicians goes in and ensure that is resolved. So at the end of the day, apart from the Service Desk Plus, you can also use the Service Desk Plus in-house as a ticketing solution in-house for yourself and for your client. So by the time the client looks at it, that okay, fine, this is good, they will want to get the solution. So it's important for you just to sell and not just sell and leave the client. It's important for you to sell and continue engagement with the client. Don't just stop at the point of selling. Engage the client more and also cross-sell. Yeah, so that's what we do here in Tranta IT. We don't just sell. If you check all our client base, you see that most of the clients that we're talking about, they have up to 5 ManageEngine solutions in-house that they are using. They started by getting just one solution, and we never stop there. We ensure that we engage them. We do all the support that is needed, not even at any cost. We support them to ensure that at the point when they need the next solution, they reach out to us. So I want us to also practice that kind of engagement. It goes a long way to give you more sales at the end of the day. So like I said, we are always available to share our solution book, data sheet, flyers, bone shell, and demo link, overview of these videos, proposal sample, solution selling link, and deal registration portal. So all these are available. So just reach out to me. You have my emails, channel@trantait.com or henry.agbonzi@trantait.com. Then you reach out to me. I will be glad to share all this with you. But at the end of the day, we have this links shared with you. The video also share with you. You get them flyers on OPMANAGER and brochure that will be shared with you at the end of this webinar. Okay, so I just say I should chip in this to let you know that it's important that you know the responsibility of a reseller. As a ManageEngine partner, you have a primary responsibility to resell the product, ManageEngine solution, all the solution as well as you know that, also support the ManageEngine product after deployment. So it's a responsibility to support the product, to ask questions from the client to see if they are using the solution and getting the best of use of it, and perform health check. So what I mean by health check, in Tranta IT, we go into the client environment quarterly to do an health check to ensure that they are getting they are getting value for what they bought. So it's important for you to do that, because one, if you don't do that, the client might have a challenge that will prompt them not to renew the solution. So by the time you've checked through the anniversary period that they are using the solution and they are fine, then it's obvious that they are going to pay for the renewal, and it's also at the end of the day get the revenue to your desk. So it's important you follow up with the client, also follow up with renewal. So by the time you do the health check, you follow up with your renewal. You don't just wait for us to send the alert to you that it's time for you to renew your client's solution. It's important you have it offered, then also push to them, let them know, let them put it in their budget. Then at the end of the day, you get it renewed. And also, if you really want to sell, based on their experience, based on our engagement process so far, we've come to see that most of the partners that have dedicated sales teams selling this solution has actually made more sales more than every other ones. So it's important to dedicate your sales team. We need two dedicated sales team that will be focused on this solution, and also reach out to me directly. I can as well slate a training program for you guys. Let them know more about the solution, excuse me. So at the end of the day, you get to know more about a ManageEngine solution. Also a technical personnel in your organization to sell ManageEngine solution. So by the time I have these guys that is dedicated from your hand, then I will know who I'm talking to, and also see how we can strategize to get a deal closed. So in order for you to be among those that are selling, it's important you have at least two sales personnel and technical guys that is available when it comes to engagement. So you have a functional competency, good interpersonal skill, good network skill, communication skill, excellent organization skill, organizing skill, and presentation skill. So these are the skills that your salesperson is needed by your salesperson to actually pitch this solution. And also we have also look at some quality that we need from your partner, which is reliability. You should be able to rely on you. Yeah, right? Reseller should respond to email in less than 24 hours. At least once we send you an email, you should be able to respond in terms of engagement opportunity that you are currently working on. It's good for you to let me know so that I'll be able to secure it when other requests comes in, because I only work on the information you give to me. I cannot go into your client environment and start asking questions. So that's very important. Also, you have to be proactive by submitting your pipelines, the pipeline for the next quarter. I believe that you should know what you are looking out for in the next quarter. You share it with me, then I am open to at least assist you in seeing how we can close it. Transparency is one of the key when you are engaging us. Ensure that you share the end user's name, and also so that we'll be able to manage your clients and also prevent conflicts. We want charisma in terms of in relationship building and management. So we want that to be also be done when you are engaging the ManageEngine product with the part channel manager. So we want that relationship building to also, we want to inspire faith in ManageEngine product by working with the channel manager. So these are the qualities that we want to, we want you as a partner to exhibit. So let's go straight to the Q&A session. So like I said, I have a question. At what point am I to sell Up Manager? At what point am I to sell Up Manager Plus? Sikiru, over to you. Then after which I will go to the chat box and also the Q&A.
Okay, thank you very much for that question. We have a lot of people that also have that question in mind, like what points do I need to sell ManageEngine Up Manager? What points should I suggest or propose ManageEngine Up Manager? In most cases, the point you need to suggest is when you notice that your clients are complaining about bandwidth utilization, if they are complaining about their service availability, if they are complaining about their resources or their infrastructure, if we are saying their service is down, or there is no network, or network is slow, or they can't connect to a service, or they cannot reach a server or something like that. So anything that is network, whenever you notice that your end users are having network issue, or they are having downtime, service downtime, then you can propose or they're having slowness of service, you can propose Network Performer OPMANAGER Plus to help them optimize their services.
Okay, that's noted. Thank you very much, and CQ. So my second question goes like this: when am I to sell a professional edition or a enterprise edition of OPMANAGER Plus? When do I sell this? I don't know when to sell, how to sell it, or what are. Let me just put it. What are the differences between the enterprise and the professional edition of OPMANAGER?
So, so for the professional, if your clients are looking to have more than 1,000 devices, then it's best to go with enterprise. They're looking to have more than 1,000. But if they are looking for less than 1,000, then you can go with OPMANAGER Plus. And if it is just OPMANAGER they need, because some clients may not necessarily need OPMANAGER Plus, they may not need the other features in the OPMANAGER. So
can you hear me?
If it's just, yes, can you hear me?
So can you just go back again? You're talking about when am I to get a professional edition or an enterprise edition?
Yes, I said for enterprise edition, once your clients are going for 1,000 devices and above, then it's best to go with enterprise edition. If they are going for 1,000 devices and above, then they should go for enterprise edition. And then if they're going for below 1,000, then it's best to go with OPMANAGER Plus. So OPMANAGER Plus is different from OPMANAGER Enterprise. OPMANAGER Plus can only do maximum of 1,000. It can't do above 1,000. And then if you notice that your client does not need the other modules in the OPMANAGER, if it's just the network performance monitoring solution that they need, if they don't need the net flow analysis, NCM, then they can go for OPMANAGER Professional. So the OPMANAGER Professional does not have the other module in it. While the OPMANAGER Plus has the modules in it, then we have the OPMANAGER Enterprise that has that can be used for over 1,000 devices. So it can go as high as 10,000 devices. And then also, if your client may not necessarily have up to 10,000 devices or 1,000 devices, but if they're also looking for the feature of high availability, then you need to go with the enterprise. You need to go with the enterprise edition because enterprise edition supports high availability as well.
All right, thank you very much. I hope we get that clearly. Okay, so let me just go to the chat box and we have the first question from Mr. Lucky. Thank you very much. I want to quickly ask, can we use this solution to manage or allocate bandwidth to each users?
No, we cannot use it to allocate bandwidth to users. But in the net flow analysis, there's something called traffic shaping for QoS that can prioritize bandwidth, but it cannot be used to allocate bandwidth to users. That has to be done from the firewall. If you have a firewall, then you have to configure it on your firewall.
Okay, so the next question, can I get a proposal from Oluwada Asimi? Yes, you can get a proposal on this. If you have my email, just send a request to me, channel@trantait.com, henry.agbonze@trantait.com. I think channel will be easier for you. Channel as a normal channel at trantait.com. So you can also reach out to me. I will drop in my email shortly after the question. So the next question is from John Lucky. Assuming we have up to 500 branches and we have 500 branch router switches, can it manage it?
Yes. If you have 500, well, this is just a matter of scalability. Yes, it can manage it. You can use OPMANAGER Plus for the 500 devices. And if you have up to 1,000, you can use the OPMANAGER Enterprise.
Good. Okay, so the next question is saying something about you have not mentioned end users. You have not measured of end user computer client. Can't it also monitor or manage the computer system? Okay, it's trying to ask if it can manage the endpoint, that is the computers. So I guess this does more of network monitoring. So I don't know if NCQ can add to this. He said, can he measure the endpoint? Can he monitor the endpoint in terms of computers in-house?
Yes, it can monitor computers as well. It can monitor the Windows computers as well. It's just that in most cases, it is used mostly for servers because it's used for business critical. This is a business critical solution. So that is why in most cases it's not used for computers. Because we want to monitor availability of computers when we're going to turn them off when we want to go home or something like that. So in most cases, it's used for servers. But yes, you can also use it to monitor resource utilization on computers as well, on workstations. So in case you need to increase the utilization, the resources on the workstation, or you need to change the workstation as well. Okay.
I guess the next question is, it said, can I get a video recorded of this? Can we get recorded today? Okay, so that will be shared with you. We will share that by the end of the webinar. That will be by tomorrow. We'll share all the recorded records, all the records of the webinar will be shared with everybody that attends. So we have your emails, we have every of your details to share with you. So the chain of engagement is excellent. How do we get the proposal? Are you going to share it with us? Okay. You can get the proposal. Like I said, we have all the proposals on this solution as a whole. We have for all solution, all managing solution. So all you just need to do is just drop a mail, and I will share it with you. Who are your major competitors? Okay, so I think if I will answer this question, the major competitor, which is not more like a major competitor, because when it comes to getting the solution, we are more of, when it comes to getting a network monitoring solution, OPMANAGER is more preferred. So major competitor is SolarWind. Yeah, SolarWind. So that's more the major competitor. But the challenge is that SolarWind, the distributor is not in Nigeria, right? We have the distributor of ManageEngine solution, which is OPMANAGER in Nigeria, which is Toronto IT. So should you have a support, you can as well reach out to us. You can. It's not something that you start making a call to someone in US or anywhere to get support. So this is more like you come to you and support you. I don't know if you have other competitors but for me, I think that's just a major competitor. Though it's not a major competitor, but when you look at,
yes, I think that's the only competitor, like the only solution we can actually say is competing with ManageEngine OPMANAGER in Nigeria actually.
Okay. So is training available on how to deploy the solution? Yes. We had a training last November on how to deploy the solution. And also we're going to have another training on how to deploy in March. So that will be communicated why the time is, when this time is close by, we're going to communicate to all our partners. So the next question is, please, can you share the recording for this webinar, and how do we get registered as partner? Okay, the recording, as I said, like I said earlier, is going to be shared at the end of the webinar. We had another webinar tomorrow. We're going to have another webinar tomorrow on ITSM. So after the webinar, we're going to share the recording of this webinar and that of tomorrow. We share it to everyone that participates in this webinar. So also how to register. I will share while sharing the recording of this webinar, I will share a link on how to register. Should you want to register as a partner. So this question is from Oluwawomi. He's asking, he said, come again on the enterprise version and OPMANAGER Plus. So I think he wants to get to clarity on what the enterprise version and what the OPMANAGER Plus is, right? So CQ, can you just come again just to get clarity?
Thank you. Yes. So for the enterprise version, it's you can use the enterprise version for devices from 250 devices upward, and it can go as high as 10,000 devices. It supports high availability, and it also supports distributed architecture. It tells that there will be a central server, and there will be different probe servers. Thank you, Henry. There will be central servers and there will be probe servers. But OPMANAGER Plus is a bundled solution and can go as high as 1,000, but it doesn't support more than 1,000. That is the first one. And then OPMANAGER also does not support high availability. OPMANAGER Plus currently does not support high availability. So those are the two major differences between and then OPMANAGER Plus it doesn't do what's it called? Doesn't do distributed architecture too. So those are the three major differences. It can't do more than 1,000. It does not support high availability. Does not support distributed architecture.
Okay, I guess then that is clear enough.
Yes. So unlike the standard OPMANAGER Enterprise, where the license is not bundled together, you have to state what you want and to be added in the license. OPMANAGER Plus, the license are bundled together. So once you get OPMANAGER license, you're also getting some part of NetFlow, you're getting some part of NCM, you're getting some part of other ones. But for normal OPMANAGER, you have to specify if you want other licensing, other modules license as well.
Okay, so I got your email. Thank you, CQ. I got your email, Luwadasi. I got your email. So this question is from Mr. Uzo. He said in year 2020, we learned about the SolarWinds exploits. How secure is OPMANAGER to this? So you can as well. I think that's a question that has led to high requests from clients. So since the saga of SolarWinds, so we've been getting much requests for OPMANAGER, and we've been able to attend to this. So ManageEngine is very, very secured. I don't know if CQ have more to say about this.
Okay, thank you very much. So like you mentioned, in the year of SolarWinds, the SolarWinds exploits. These are general exploits that can affect anybody, because some of these attacks are zero-day attack. The best thing to do is to always patch your solution. And ManageEngine always release patches. They always release upgrade of their solution almost every month. I think it's every month or every quarter. They release it every quarter, but sometimes they can release it 2 times or 3 times in a quarter. And the reason for this is because of security, because even this last December, there was an exploit, a popular exploit called Log4j. I don't know if we are all aware of Log4j. So although it is an Apache repository vulnerability, and it affects not just OPMANAGER, it affects a lot of applications. But ManageEngine OPMANAGER does not use that particular affected version at that point. ManageEngine OPMANAGER used a different version. But even as at that, ManageEngine has released patches for all their solutions. There is a new version of the Apache that Log4j is not vulnerable to. And they have advised all their clients to upgrade all their ManageEngine solution to the latest patch. And if you are also getting a new one, you are sure that you are not vulnerable to log4j vulnerability or exploitation. And also, so that is what ManageEngine in general do. They release patches every time, and that's because some of these attacks they are new attack. Every day hackers are going and looking for a way to exploit. So that's why the solution will have to always come out with new software or new upgrades every time to tackle any new or any 0-day or any upcoming threats that is possible. So once they realize that there's something, there's a new vulnerability out there, they're going to release a patch to stop it. As long as the hackers are not sleeping, the security guys still cannot sleep. And that is what OPMANAGER is, that's their own principle, that's their idea. And that's why they keep releasing new patches almost every time. Okay, thank you.
So in the nutshell, ManageEngine is also release patches all the time. So if you have a client that has gotten one or two ManageEngine solutions because they have the perpetual license and they feel that they don't need to pay for the AMS. So I think that's where you come in. You have to push and let them know that if they don't pay for their AMS, they are just open a gateway for the attackers to come in, because when there is no patches, because the AMS is actually is for update patches to be sent to the license that you already have in house. So if you don't do that, you are giving access to the hackers to come in and into your environment. So I don't want such to happen. So you need to tell your client, let them know that AMS perpetual license does not mean that you not pay for your AMS monthly. Annually. It's important to do that too. So I guess we have a question from Badebo. It said the minimum devices for OPMANAGER Plus. I think we've done justice to that. That's a minimum of 1,000, or that's where you can sell OPMANAGER Plus. But once it's above 1,000, then you can look out for the enterprise edition. So Mr. Victor Ime, you want a proposal? I seen your email. I'm going to send a proposal to you. So I don't know if there's other questions that we've yet to answer. Okay, Mr. Chinedu was asking that what are interfaces? So I don't know if Siku have an answer to this question.
Well, interfaces are they are on the network devices like routers and switches. So we can call the logical interfaces, the tunnels, the VLANs, they are all considered interfaces. So it monitors, it uses SNMP to monitor the availability and bandwidth utilization.
So I guess that is clear, Mr. Chinedu. So at this point, we think we've done justice to OPMANAGER and OPMANAGER Plus. So we would want to call it a day. But right before then, let me just let you know that one of the hottest solution, one of the highly demand solution in Nigeria is the ITSM solution. And every client wants to be ITSM inclined when it comes to incident management, change management, product management, problem management, and the rest of it. Then you have to look out for a solution like Service Desk Plus. So this solution has been sold in one of the biggest blue chip financial industry, also in the manufacturing and the oil and gas industry. So it's important to know what the client is looking out for in this 2022. So by tomorrow, we'll be having a session on Service Desk Plus. Service Desk Plus is an ITSM solution, one of the highly rated ITSM solution in Nigeria. So you will not want to miss this. So I want you to take your time and take part in this webinar that will be coming up tomorrow. So at this point, I want to say thank you to everyone that have taken time to join this webinar. I want to really appreciate your time, and also we believe that you really learned a lot when it comes to OPMANAGER. So also feel free to reach out to me at any point in time. I'm very, very open to treat all your requests. So I got your email from Next Generation. I'm going to send the proposal to you, right? I'm going to send the proposal to you as requested. So at this point, we want to thank everyone that joined this webinar. It's been a great opportunity to have you here. And also, CQ, thank you for taking our time to take us to Op Manager today. So I believe that by tomorrow we have more to learn from when it comes to ITSM. So thank you very much once more. Have a lovely day. CQ, one last word from me, please.
Thank you all for having us, and thank you, Mary. It's my pleasure being here.
All right. Thank you very much. You have a lovely day ahead. Bye-bye.